Alright guys, one more video on Sataoa Laumea. We are doing notes from a couple of his games that I really wanted to focus in on. Now, because of the context here, I wanted to take one game from 2023, which is of course the most recent season, and I wanted to take a game from 2021. If you watch the previous two videos, you know why. In 2023, he played at right tackle. In 2021, he played at right guard. Obviously, the recent tape is more interesting because it's something that just happened, but the right guard tape means more if we're going to play him at right guard. So I figured we needed to take a look at both. Once again, I'm not showing any game clips or footage from the actual tape that I looked at because last time I tried that, YouTube didn't let me do it, and I don't feel like putting a lot of work into a video that no one will get to watch. So these are just my notes from what I saw. The videos I found of the cut-ups of these games are on YouTube, and anybody can go watch them if they want to, though. So if you want to do that, go ahead. So this first one is from 2023 versus Florida, the Gators. The very first snap of the game, he engages with his man, but he kind of gets submarined. He gets out-leveraged. His man gets low, and he loses the block. So it's kind of a weird looking play. It's like he actually was able to hold him up for a long enough period of time for the play to go, but he kind of got submarined under by the defender, and he was able to ultimately get off his block. So it didn't look great, but he did hold up long enough for I can't remember who the Utah quarterback was in this game. They kept swapping guys in and out, but 70-yard touchdown pass. It was a bomb. It was a long developing play, and the pass rusher was not able to get to the quarterback in time, so I guess he did his job. Second play of the game, he allows the defender get into his chest. You can kind of see the whole keeping his arms too far apart and having not great arm length. So there's some knockback, but he does ultimately hold up enough for the play to work. And there are a lot of plays like this in his pass protection where it's just like, oh, that doesn't look great, but he did the job. He did what he needed to do. Hits a side block, or if you prefer, like a peel block. I don't know. The terminology sometimes, it depends on who you ask what a block is called, but it's he goes right to left to clear out a hole for the run. So it's not like the block where you peel back around behind the center, but you're just kind of moving as a unit with your offensive line to the left, and he helps clear the hole for a run. So looking pretty decent in space. Creates nice movement on the edge on a read option snap. So he was able to help clear some room there. There was a real nice 2nd and 5 snap where he was going from right to left to help clear a hole, but the defensive tackle to his right just cut through the right guard like a knife through butter, and Laumea just turned back to his right and improvised and was like, okay, I got to get this guy or the play's done. So I don't think it was his intent to go block the tackle, but the tackle got through the right guard so quickly, Laumea had to improvise on the spot, and he did actually a really good job of doing it and helping save the play a little bit. He showed some nice sustain on the next play of the game. He was able to engage in a run block and keep pushing him back and keep on him, but the run was ultimately snuffed out by unrelated player. He swings outside on a stretch run and throws some blocks out in space. You can see the movement skills. You can see the ability to play outside the confines of his phone booth. And that's the kind of stuff that is good to see with these guys. There was a 3rd and 6 play where he gets driven back into the quarterback by a bull rush. Just kind of gets ragdolled. I don't want to say ragdoll. That sounds a little too much. But he does get pushed back. And I think this is where he gave up the pressure. I think this is where they gave him credit for a pressure allowed on his quarterback, which forces an incomplete pass. Next play, he nicely controls the edge, clearing some room to run. So you're pretty quickly getting an idea here that this is a guy who is meant to run block and is happier run blocking and does better run blocking than he does pass blocking, which that's why I think that while the right side is more about run blocking than pass blocking, I'd rather just go all the way with it and just bump him out all the way to bump him inside rather to right guard. Let's see here. There's a play shortly after where he climbs up to the second level, but he doesn't get the angle on the linebacker the right way, and he's not able to get out there in time to throw the block. So you see these plays where the athleticism just isn't there enough for him to do what he needs to do completely. So I look at a play like that, and he just can't quite get the right angle on the linebacker. Generates some nice knockback on a run behind him to clear the way. They run the ball behind the right side of the offensive line a lot at Utah, and he is generating knockback on these runs. Next snap, he manages to actually drive the defender down to the ground. It was a tenacious snap. He was hit hard and drove him down and really wanted to confirm the win on the rep, so it looked really good to me. I like that stuff. He picked up a blitzing linebacker on a third down play. The right guard to his left gave up a pressure to kill the play, gets beat pretty badly there. But on a play like this, you can kind of see his ability to recognize what is going on in front of him and realize, oh, the linebacker is blitzing. I got to go get him. And I can't help the right guard because I got to pick up this blitzer. And the right guard's going to have to either sink or swim on his own. And here he sank. I like how he stayed engaged on a QB option keeper, just pushing his man back, pushing him back. I think it was like a good 4 or 5 yards. You can see the ability to stay engaged with his man, which is going to be important because that's an area that overall he has some issues with. I'm seeing more and more impressive, powerful run blocking from him as this game goes on, it feels like. Feels like the run blocking is definitely his forte, and there's a lot of plays where he's just moving guys out of the hole, moving guys back away from the line of scrimmage, and clearing lanes for the ball carrier. There are a lot of pass protection reps throughout this game where it feels like, oh, he almost got beat, but the quarterback got rid of it in time, or he was just able to hold up long enough, or he got pushed back, but he didn't actually get to the quarterback. Stuff like that. It's like a lot of close calls. So I look at that and I go, is that going to work in the NFL? Are those close calls going to become sacks? Possibly. So he's a run blocker, and I definitely want to move him back inside so he can be that. He gets beaten by an inside move due to lackluster arm length. At least that's kind of what I attributed it to, but the right guard was able to pick him up. He gets beat to the inside on the very next snap, but manages to ride the defensive end to the ground. It was one of those things where he kind of jumped on his back and actually rode him to the ground, which that could be a penalty in the NFL pretty easily, but it was not called on this play. So you can see him kind of giving up the inside, which is that thing we were talking about, where he gives up the inside because he's trying to overset to the outside. Combo block with the tight end helps open up running lane with good leg drive to knock the guy out of the hole. Drives the nose tackle back about 5 to 6 yards on another run play behind him. So you see that strength. You see that ability to just muscle guys out of the hole. Pass block rep where he helps on the inside rusher and then picks up the blitzer. So it's another example of him keeping his head on a swivel and being aware of things where he helps his right guard and then has to go get his own guy. Excellent sustain on a pass block rep from 3rd and 4 from the 5-yard line. Just sticks with his guy, and allows the play to, I believe, ultimately succeed. There was one play later in this game where he got pretty beaten badly by the speed rusher on the outside, but I think it was by design because it was a screen play. He was just letting the guy get upfield, so the screen pass would be behind him, but the play got blown up anyway, so it didn't really matter. There was one play where a blitzing linebacker tries to throw some... It was actually like a double fake, where the blitzing linebacker came in and then acted like he was going to stunt inside, and then he came back outside. It was one of those. And I think he did a pretty good job of sticking with him and mirroring him and keeping him away from the quarterback. He tried to climb block a little bit later on a linebacker and missed his block, made the running back have to bounce outside. And near the end of the game, there was a one-run play where he got monster knockback on the edge behind, and the running play succeeded behind him. And then the game basically ended. So Utah did win this game, and it was one of their better games of the year. They beat not a very good Florida team, but it was he wasn't playing Tennessee Chattanooga here. All right, so that was one of his better graded games of 2023, and I wasn't crazy about it, but it was okay. So now we look at Utah from 2021. He's playing right guard, and immediately things do look better to me. Very first drive of the game, he throws a key block to occupy the nose tackle on 3rd and 1 run for a first down. They're running behind him constantly in this game. On the very next play after that, he opens up a big hole on a 6-yard run on the next play. Yeah, next play. Simple A-gap run right behind him. They just give the running back the ball and tell him to go take care of his business, and he does. Peels out to the left to lead block for a run play. Looks very natural, moving and playing in space. I don't think the run play got upfield far enough for him to make a difference, but you see him peeling out behind the center to go lead block for a run, and it's not like when Damian Lewis was doing it, you know. Near the goal line, he goes on another one of those peel blocks from the right to the left, peeling back behind the center, hitting the edge player to spring a 10-yard touchdown run. He's kind of the pivotal player for the hole that he opens up. Continues to draw assignment against the nose tackle for UCLA, and he's consistently winning. So they're putting him in that matchup, and he's generating knockback and getting push. The next snap after that, he climbs up to the linebacker to lead block for another running play. There's a lot more of him playing in space on this tape, I feel like, compared to the 2023 tape. Looks like he understands leverage better as well. I like his leverage better in the 2021 tape than the 2023 tape. There was another goal line, well, not goal line, but near the end zone peel out block to hit the left side edge to open up hole. It's just one of those plays where he comes over and seals the hole open, and you can see the ability to hit a block in space and do things on the move. He's holding up strongly in pass protection at the right guard spot, consistently keeping the defense back. It's not like he was at right tackle where it felt like he was getting pushed back consistently. Here, he's actually holding his own and really not letting the quarterback get disturbed in any meaningful way to my eye. He sustained a block on a flea flicker. Flea flickers obviously take a lot of time to develop. So the fact that he was able to sustain a pass block on his man for a flea flicker shows the ability to hold up. A little bit after that, he climbs up to the second level and throws the crucial block on a linebacker to spring a big run. So it seems like over and over and over again, he is the linchpin of these big runs that Utah has. They are depending on him to go and throw the big block after moving from his original position, and he does it. Get some movement on the ground game to open up a QB keeper run, just pushing a guy back, clearing it out a hole. Another right to left block on an edge to free up a touchdown run. That's the third in this game. Third time he's hit one of those seal blocks to pry open the hole for the running back to run through. The block he threw on this one was either on a defensive back or a smaller linebacker because he had a big size advantage, but he got him on the ground. It was a pancake, and it freed up the run. QB keeper, right to left block. He was kind of setting up misdirection because he was making it look like the play was going left, and then the quarterback just kept the ball and went back to the right. But you're seeing more of it. Over and over again, they're putting him in space and asking him to hit move blocks, and he does it without a problem. I didn't take notes from the third quarter because I didn't really see much of anything happen outside of what I was already defining. Everything looked good. There might have been like one play where I thought maybe he missed a block in space, but I was at that point I kind of felt like I had seen enough, you know. So the game was also starting to get a little bit out of hand at one point because UCLA couldn't stop the run at all. So I ended up not taking notes on the fourth quarter, but I got what I needed to see. He looks better at right guard. This is clearly his position. This is clearly where he should be. And I hope we're smart enough to at least move him inside. If you're going to play him somewhere that isn't right guard, let it be left guard or center. All right, so that's it for this video. We got a couple more draft picks to talk about. I am going to do some UDFA stuff as well, but we are almost done here. Hope to see you guys tonight for the stream of the Hawks Nest. See you guys later. Go Hawks, and that's what I got for this rookie.